Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Baldy Chris and this is the Witness beam by beam, and this is now beam 11, the final beam to connect with all the others that are lighting up at the top of the mountain. And this is going to be in the central town area, which is where the last episode finished up, as we had to redirect a laser from the desert ruins up to the top of the mountain along with all the other ones. So this area, I'm not going to lie, is quite tricky because it includes bits of everything that's come before. And they're not necessarily easy puzzles. So, I mean, I'm going to try and do them as best I can, but I may need some reliance on walkthroughs at some point, so I hope you'll bear with me. Right, this one, we've got little hexagons and Tetris pieces as well, so we need to bind in the shape, but also pass through every hexagon. So clearly that's wrong, so I haven't quite passed through every hexagon to get to that solution. And because the Tetris piece is on a diagonal, that does mean that it could be drawn round in a different orientation. So that orientation would work. Clearly that's definitely incorrect, so I'm going to abandon that because I can't draw the shape correctly that way round. That shape is correctly bound in there, but I've missed loads of hexagons there, so that's definitely wrong. Could also be that way round, but I'm ruling that out because I can't get to the hexagon that's just above and to the left of the shape I've drawn. Yeah, that's not going to work either. What about... Nope, that isn't going to work either. It's a surprisingly tricky one, this. Can't see that working. I think there's only one orientation left that I haven't actually drawn already, which is that one. That's looking much more promising. There we go. And this time round we've got an extra square to do. Now the two shapes have to join together because the single square can't be drawn on its own. So we've still got to go through every hexagon. That could be quite demanding. What about that? The shape should be correct there. Yeah, I think that's it. There we go. And yet another different shape. Which is definitely not correct. That's also not correct as well. I think this one's going to be quite a tricky one. This is definitely going to be a tricky one. Okay, I've managed to draw myself into a corner there. That's not going to work. Nor is that. It's going to be really very tricky to cover off this entire shape, I think. unfortunately there's a hexagon missed there as well, so that can't be right. There we are. I think that's good. So the T shape has been rotated through 180 degrees, and the other two single squares have been incorporated at the bottom. There we go. It's not even quite the right shape. It would need two central pieces for that to work. Okay, yeah, that's the two T pieces, both rotated to the right through 90 degrees and stacked on top of each other. And then somehow we need 3 line pieces. Oh, that is going to be quite a tough one, I think. But they can be in different orientations to that depicted. Still going to be quite tricky. So the bound shape is correct there, but I haven't actually incorporated the second of the 3 pieces. Again, the shape's correct, but it doesn't incorporate both of them. This does, I think. Yeah, so I've got one vertical on the right, one horizontal on the left, and all hexagons covered. So, we've lit up a staircase. Well, lowered a staircase rather. Which gives us another panel over here. Now this one, again, you can't draw a single square on its own, but we've also got the elimination mark, the peace sign, I think I called it in previous episodes. So that means that the bound shape, so long as the bound shape includes both the peace sign and the single square, the actual shape doesn't matter because it will cancel it out. So I just somehow need to find a route through all the dots that covers off both of them, and that nearly does it. So the shape would be acceptable, but the 2 missing dots at the top were not. So how's that going to work? They're not quite in the same space as each other that time, so dots covered, shapes not. What about that? Yeah, they're in the same space as each other. So yeah, you can see that opened a door on the tower over there. So that's one set of the puzzles done. There's quite a few sets of puzzles in this area, and not all of them actually contribute to lighting up the laser. So we've got some puzzle panels in here, but they need to be lit up first of all. And the panels that do that are out here. And can't even find the first one. There's a cable. Am I doing this right? Where is the first one? There it is, there. So yeah, what's up with this one? It's a symmetrical line job. Could draw any old thing. And it hasn't worked. There are no visual cues. How's it going to work? Well, we have seen similar before. The game was being sneaky at the time. So there are environmental clues to work with, cues to work with. It's just a question of trying to put them in the right place in this grid. And that might be just about it, I think. Whoops. There we go. That just about scrapes the top of the trees and went into the middle where there was no tree. So that is correct. Marvellous. So this panel is down in here, and we have seen similar to this before, of course, but half the screen is blocked out. So what's it blocked out by? It's blocked out by this girder here, and this is where you'll need pen and paper. But essentially it's just following the shape of the vines to work through the maze there. I'm going to try to remember that. So it's a little 3-piece in the bottom left. It sort of steps back up to the left again with a little dip down at the end. Those descriptions mean something to me. Maybe maybe they just sound like the ramblings of a madman. I think it was across and stepping back up. You can see that part of the shadow, and then a little dip down into a bucket. There we are, that's that one lit up. And ironically, it was his own lead that was the solution to the puzzle. So then we've got this one here, which doesn't offer a whole lot in the way of visual clues. It looks a bit like a windmill. Is it anything to do with the windmill in the centre of the town, which you can't actually quite see from here anyway? Maybe it's not in the centre of the town. It's there somewhere. Is that the sails there? Can't quite see. It's a mere distraction. It is not. This is a tree puzzle. And very early doors we saw the orchard puzzle. And it's to do with the positioning of the apple. The apple is the correct solution. And if you count the branches that the apple's on from the left of this main trunk, you've got 4 on the left split, and then 5, 6 over to where the apple is. Then it's a question of trying to work out which of these prongs of the windmill is actually the one that the apple is sitting on, and you can do that in terms of where there's gaps based on the other branches that come off the tree. So there are some broken branches there and there. It's much simpler just to count down 6. I mean, you could literally just try moving to 6 in any given direction. I think 2 of them probably wouldn't actually work in the first place because there isn't a 6th branch to go on. I think in this area though, if you get a puzzle wrong, you have to go and redo the previous panel, which is irritating. So we've lit up the pink cable there, which should lead in to this panel here. This panel, you might note, has got a start point there. It's got a start point there, and there's a 3rd start point on it as well, I think. Or maybe there's not. There's more than one start point anyway. There are a total of 3 solutions to it as well. At this point I'm trying to draw around the shadows, which is a little tricky from the angle I've got going on here. But I think that works. It does. That is one of the 3 leads coming off it lit up. next trick is to try and work out how it's done in a different fashion. And that is to step outside and have a look at it through the lattice of branches. Which is not necessarily super easy to do. Don't know if it can actually be drawn from outside either. Possibly it can't. But yes, I think in this instance it'll be starting from the centre, dropping down to the bottom, wrapping around the outside to then come back out on the bottom left, I think. So, don't know if this is it, but something along those lines. That is definitely not it. Aha, there's another one of the solutions as well, although I am kind of covering it with my own shadow. Very difficult to actually piece the whole thing together. Is that the start point there? Or is that the start point there? Very difficult to actually trigger, but this is definitely one where pen and paper is very helpful to write down the solutions that you see in. That wasn't it. Let's go back up and have another look at that. And I probably will use a pen and paper. It's quite a bit more complicated than I was trying to draw it. Also not exactly sure, seeing the far right of it, entirely accurately. Okay, right, back down we go. Oh, there is a third start point. It is there. There we go. That's another one of them done. So the last one must be this view through the window, which I was definitely struggling to encapsulate. Definitely another one for pen and paper as well. Right, okay, I see what I've been doing incorrectly. It's not avoid the branches, it's follow the branches. So we'll be starting there and doing a sort of spiral effect, stepping out to the right and then back over the top with a little bit of a buckety affair down there. Let's just get that written down. Okay. Oops. Spirally affair out over the top. Little buckety bit, that was it, wasn't it? Was it not? Thought I had that. There, I thought I drew that last time, not sure what happened there. Okay, so all those lights have gone into the one white cable, which has now lit up another puzzle panel over here. And we know the type of the puzzle panel, but unfortunately you can actually only see part of it. I mean, it seems you can't even actually start there, but it does rather look like that is the top part of the puzzle. Unfortunately you can't see the bottom part of the puzzle, and the reason for that is that you need to be stood over there for the next part of the perspective, and that is of course easier said than done. Got some more of the power leads there as well. Can't get up inside at all. And we've got this puzzle panel here, which I initially thought was one of these physical representation ones where, like earlier where we drew windmill blades, if you just drew a staircase it would lower the stairs. It doesn't, unfortunately. What you have got is a maze in here which has fallen into disrepair, but basically you need to go through the maze, avoiding the greenery. This roof fall is a bit of a red herring. That's where it's caved in. That's not meant to be an obstruction. But you wouldn't have been able to go past this part. So it's along 3, up 1, back 2, out to the side, up 1, in 1. Oh, it's a little bit complicated, isn't it? Let me try and replicate that as best I can. So it was in 3, back 2, up 1, something like that. There we go. So, not drawing a staircase in the slightest. But up we go. Oh, we've got someone watching us. Hello somebody, how are you? Do you know this game at all? I'm only looking to do the puzzle panel solutions here rather than any other spoilerific bits that there might be attached to the game. Now this puzzle here is one of the physical representation ones that we saw in the swamp area earlier. So we've got 3 by 3 bit basically, but these individual sections will slide. And the aim is, I think, to try and get the central one to extend. If I could have actually drawn my way out of that, that would have been a brilliant solution piece there. Yeah, that works, doesn't it? So we've got the 3 pieces all bound by the shape, creating a little drawbridge to walk across. And it's from up here somewhere, there you go, that you get the full effect of that puzzle. Still can't 100% see the exact start point. I think it is in the centre of that top piece. And conveniently, I appear to be able to draw it from here in a very cack-handed fashion. Oh, come on. Oh dear, oh dear. There. It's lit up a cable. So it must have done something on the tower. Opened a door or lowered a staircase or some such. It's also brought us up to these puzzle panels here. So we've got colour separation jobs again. Don't know if this is... Oh, it is a symmetry based one. Don't think it's too hard to keep the colours separated on that first one. There we go. And same sort of thing again. The trouble is, come too far across and the lines hit each other. So that hasn't worked because the colours aren't separated there. This might be easy enough to think though. The colours are separated from one another there. Yep, there we go. No, that's not separated them off. Oh, that nearly worked. But some of that central area is mixed colours, so no. No, I don't know what I'm playing at there. That's definitely not going to work. What about that? No, still got a black and a white bit in the same area. What about that? No, not quite. Oh, damn it. That felt close. Nope. No, if that central one's the problem there. Still the central one's the problem. I'm sure I've drawn that shape from different directions before. And yeah, still causing me problems with that central one being in the same area as the bottom right black one. How about... No, damn it. That is clearly not going to do the job. And still clearly not going to do the job either. I can't actually take that one out of play on its own. No, that's not worked for more than one reason, I'm quite sure. No. This one's very annoying. Well, I got the bottom black one cornered off, but not the top black one. Yeah, do feel free to chime in with a possible solution. I will not be mad. No, got black and white mixed together there. Never gonna work. And annoyingly can't just do that. Again, it's that central bloody one. Ah, there we go. That took a while, sorry about that. May mean that they take even longer in future. It's going to be the one on the black on the right that causes the problem here. So I'm trying to draw the line on the left, but started with the one on the right, which is a poor idea, really. Right, so we've got black one encompassed there, which isn't wanted. Let's just put it in a different bit with white ones, so that's still not good enough. What about that? I think that works. Yeah, that does. Marvellous. Apart from the bit on the left, that's good. So what about if I do that in a slightly different direction? Is that all of them boxed off from each other? I think it is. Really? Where? Oh, I thought that was it. How's that not working? They're all separated, aren't they? Central bit's only white ones. Bit on the right's only black ones. Oh, there's a bloody hexagon to go through as well. Dagnabbit, I hadn't seen that. So the shape was right, but the hexagon was missed out. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Oh, that is going to be tricky. That's massively optimistic. Right, that works apart from that little black one there. So what about that then? Central bit's only blacks, the other bits are whites. So looks like it does it. And it has opened a door there. So, I think this is getting close to being solved. Still can't actually get all the way to the top of the tower because we can't get in at all. But I think all the other doors have opened up. So where does that cable go? Goes over here by the juggling dude. And it's in there. How do we get in there? Oh, we've got a puzzle that is a colour separation one, or rather we've got to pair off the stars as well, which there isn't a third purple one. How's that going to work? It can't. There isn't. There's 3 reds and 3 purples. They can't be paired up in terms of colours as well, because there is more to it than meets the eye. So we've got this bit here, which again features the paired stars. I doubt very much that that actually works on its own. The stars are all paired up nicely. The shapes are not right. So how many bits have we got? That's 3, 6, 9, 10, 15, 10, 12, 15. So, what about something like that? How many things have I got there altogether? Not quite. And does that do it? Try and take out 10, aren't I? That probably doesn't either. How many have I taken out there? 9. That doesn't quite work. That doesn't work at all. I think that shape is almost right. Yeah, I think the shape bound off is suitable, but the rest of the puzzle isn't, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, I think that was nearly it. It felt like it was. Right, I think. No, not quite, because I haven't got the stars paired up right. Damn it. The actual shapes on the top would be suitable, but the way the stars are paired is not. try and work with that some more though, because I liked it. Or did I? I don't know. This feels frustratingly close. Right, that bound area is the right shape. I just need to try and separate off 2 stars at the beginning of that somehow. Can probably do that. Oh, I've lost it. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, that felt so close. Why was that not right? That really felt like I had it there. That feels right to me. Got all the stars paired. And I'm almost certain that shape is right. 6, a 6 and a separate 3. Is that not what I drew before? Right, anyway. So that gets us into this bit, and it doesn't feel like there's necessarily very much to be done in here. But what it does do is give us the opportunity to view that star puzzle through a different filter. So there's actually only 3 separate colours altogether. It's trying to pair those colours up. Probably need to write down the way they are there to be able to have a good go at separating them out. So I'm calling that yellow, 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 yellow across the top. Yellow, yellow. Black, red. Black, 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 red. And then the bottom line all entirely red. I don't suppose for a moment I can actually start drawing a line on that from here. Can't actually see a start point on it. That would have been more handy if I was able to. There we are. So we need pairs of the different colours. So you can have more than one pair in together, can't you? It's not quite it, because that would still be a pair, or well, two pairs of yellows in the top left corner. But otherwise I liked it. So what about... where are we? What am I doing? That is not it either. Can't see that's going to work, no. What about... I think that works for separating out what would be yellow ones from each other. But most of the other colours not. That doesn't feel too far off, but still 4 yellows bound up at the top. What about that little lot? Gotcha. Right, there we go. Now, again, not actually very much in here. Could technically have come in from the other end. Presumably, that door needed to be opened to aid with a view of this screen here. Again, we've seen similar patterns to that one before. And they had to be viewed through a filter. Aha, there we go. I think some of these items here provide the filter for us, so hopefully I can draw around it there. I haven't quite got the angle right there. What about, oops. Again, not quite right there. Doesn't necessarily have to be drawn from a distance, it just alleviates the old memory problems or having to write it down. So we've got a cable lit up. That might be all that's needed. So that's the red cable lit up, so we can now get into the tower. Hopefully I've done everything I need to do to climb the tower and activate the laser at the top of it. Like I say, there are still some more puzzles in the area as well, but they're not all needed to light it up. Here we are. And not the most challenging of puzzles to finish off the laser, as is always the case. You should get the trophy pop. There you go, trophy earned for town. And that should fire off up to the top of the mountain with all the others. in its own sweet time, of course. There we are. So, I'm going to head to the top of the mountain and we can see what changes all the lasers have actually done. I don't think I've been up there in a while in this series. Right, mountain. It's in this direction. Let's try and get there. Of course, I always forget the route to actually get up there. This is probably not the most direct way, but I think it'll work. Yeah, got that weird little switchback, so I think this is now a trail that leads directly to the top. Nope, I'm wrong. It leads up to one of these Dorito puzzles, but we might as well do it for the sake of it. So the central square there can only be drawn past on one side because there's one triangle in the middle of it. So although that feels like an obvious route to the exit, you can't do that because you passed it on three sides. So that's passed it on one side, that's satisfied it. So retrace my steps and try to actually get to the top of the mountain this time. Must have gone wrong on this little bit of branch here. There, that feels more like it, actually heading upwards. And there is a switchback, just a different one. Okay, so we've got these two dudes carrying a box and 7 panels have switched off it. So you didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? Really? Have you learnt nothing watching this series yet? So there's still some puzzles to do to actually open up the mountain hatch. I will try to do those. There are 3 of them. And you get a small clue in that you can, when you select a start point, you can see which exit you're heading for, which is that one. That solution obviously wasn't right. Looking at this a bit more closely, it's very hard to see. There is a black dot under the statue's foot there. There's another black dot over there as well. And unfortunately, all the infrastructure of the puzzle itself gets in the way of your ability to draw around any of it at all. So I need to try and separate the black and white dots from one another. And I think that works in that I've taken the white dots out of commission. There's one of them opened up. Right, since I can see that start point, where does that need to get to? Over to the far side. Don't know if this is necessarily the right angle to work from. It might be, but it might not be. Again, quite easy to box off the white one, but I cannot draw my way out of that at all. Not from that angle. Okay, the black on the left has been drawn out. The one on the right is unfortunately still connected, so that's a failed solution, but it felt like it was reasonably good. Some of the positioning on this is so finicky. Can't actually hit that start point quite from the way I'm looking at it there. There we are, that has got it. That's taken one of the blacks out of the way. And I can't quite get that one out of the way as well. That's annoying. So maybe a different angle is called for. Can't see that working at all because I can't get the black under the foot boxed off from anything else in this kind of direction, I don't think. Okay. What about from over here? Might just about be able to do that, I think. Maybe. I can certainly box off that first white on its own. If my drawing skills were any better, I could. And if I could come down there, that would bloody well work. But unfortunately, I can't quite do that. But I think that might work. That might do it. Just need to be able to draw up round there very nearly. How about that? Oh, come on. Not quite. So insanely finicky. And I do feel like I've got the solution here as well, which is annoying. There, I can draw that, and then that lets me box off that one. So there we go, that's another one done. So is that the start point that I've missed so far? Or did I use that one earlier? Yeah, that's the start point. And the exit is over on the far side. So how am I going to box those ones off? I feel like it would be from this side. That's the black boxed off on its own. That is one of the white ones boxed off. Actually, maybe. If I go up there, the top white is boxed off. Oh yeah, that's very nearly it. Just need a slightly better angle. What about that? So, box off the black one. all the way up to the top. That box is off the white one. Ah, oh no, no, that is it. And the whites are boxed off from the last black. There we go. So there is the staircase down into the mountain opened up. And do you remember that there was 11 beams altogether rather than just 7? It's when you've got the mountain opened up, you get the chance to be able to draw a different line to open up. If you've got all 11 panels open, to open up something different as well. I will draw that in now. And I'm not 100% sure what that changes, or whether it just unlocks something deep within the mountain. Now, it may not come as a surprise to you to learn that there's a lot of deep within the mountain to go. And they're all a collection of the puzzle types that we've seen up to this point. So I'm going to say that is the end of this particular episode, Beam 11, but it's far from the end of the game. There's at least 3 endings to the game that I'm aware of, so I'm not sure whether I'll do any more towards this series or not. The puzzles inside the mountain are, like I say, a collection of what's come before, but some of them are really quite hard to do anyway. But I've lit up all the 11 beams, which was the point of the series. Whether I continue it on to show you the additional endings within the game or not is a different matter. It remains to be seen, but you should at least have the skills from watching my 11 videos to be able to attempt the puzzles within the mountain. And who knows, I might continue the series further into the mountain in the fullness of time, but I'm making no firm commitments one way or the other. But if you like what you've seen in this episode, someone has been watching me for most of the episode, then do follow me on Twitch, please. That'd be very nice of you. Or you can check out the full series over on YouTube under the username BaldyChris if you want to do the usual sort of like, share, subscribe and all that kind of good stuff over on YouTube as well. I'd also be very happy with that as well. But that's it for now, so thanks for your time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you another time. Bye for now.